Last night, I was kidnapped and robbed by the police in Ghana. I was kidnapped by 3 masked police officers. They covered their license plate. They didn't have name badges on. They completely covered their face. And as soon as they decided they wanted to take us, they took our phones and my camera.
All right, finally, Ghana police at the press statement about some UK lady and say Obeka say some Ghana police phobia. Ako kidnapping a match so much gen who near menina. Now press statement no de bag in fact. And some kakra e wo mu a and there me share with you send I want so be share wadwen our comment section and say aha your authentic plus studios making sure so be like you best subscribe and share ama fofo so enya bi ahwe Enti we just kaya on the 5th of December 2025 NHS about we be HS your friend Ariana Naomi Maki Edin Sembi Edebeto Abontia Ochemu say in fact Obagana has say bi ankoba be content but obaye no or da for Uber na chese Uber no one na ekoche omo nam krom na chese omo ye niema omudu den bi no mu say Ghana police for bin conform me nsa bi chese omo she Ghana police uniform omo stop you omo after say omo hu say oye foreigner no e no omo start say omo hane.
Last night, I was kidnapped and robbed by the police in Ghana. I was kidnapped by 3 masked police officers. They covered their license plate. They didn't have name badges on. They completely covered their face. And as soon as they decided they wanted to take us, they took our phones and my camera. So I couldn't record. I couldn't contact anyone. I couldn't even look up, what was legal for the police to do. And obviously, not sure the law would have helped. They are the law like that. So the Uber driver that picked us up at the end of the night told me that this is something that happens frequently. The police set up these checkpoints all over the city and they'll stop you for anything. Like you could not come to a complete stop. You could have something on you. You could do nothing and they will stop you. And if they find out that you're American or they suspect you might have money, then they will take you. They decided they wanted to take us. They heard my accent because they asked me a question and I had to answer. And they checked our bags. They checked our whole body. And when they looked inside my bag and they saw that I had cash, they decided I needed to get in the car. So they told me to get in the car. I tried to ask why. I tried to say, like, is there anything else we can do to handle this? No. So they told me to get in the car. And they got mad anytime I tried to ask a question. So I realized, like, I cannot fight back right now. I have to simply, like, do what they say. So there was a friend of a friend that I knew in Ghana, and we had just went out to eat. So we're in the car together. They actually cuffed him because he's from Ghana, but they didn't cuff me. They just sat me in the car and they drove us around. Little did I know we were driving in Accra the whole time, but I don't know where I am. I don't have my phone. It feels like we're getting further and further from where I'm staying. Like I'm feeling, I'm feeling terrible. One of the cops is in the back seat and he has his arm around me the entire time. They were screaming at us most of the time. And then sometimes they would decide to be nice. Like it was definitely like a good cop, bad cop type of situation. They told me I would not go back home to America. They would arrest me and those charges would not let me board my flight. They told my friend he was gonna go to jail. And the threats kept escalating. At one point, they even made me read a Bible verse and explain to them why that meant we should pay them before they take us to the station. This was the most nonsense I'd ever heard in my life. But again, they're all armed. There are big ass guns in the trunk. At one point, there were 5 officers with us, and then at other points, there were 3. Like there was no leaving. There was no nothing. So at one point they pulled up at an ATM and they told me, take out as much as you can. Are you dumb? Do I look like I'm fucking dumb? And I know y'all are probably like, why'd you get in the car? Why did I get in the car? I didn't have a choice. You try resisting 5 fat ass, armed, stinky ass, and let's get into the smell because the car stank. So at the ATM, I told them like that. Obviously they couldn't go with me into the ATM. I went to tell the bank people that I was not good, but they still had my phone and my camera and the person that I was with. So I took some money out. I took out like $150 US dollars, and I went back to the car. I gave it to them. I'm thinking it's over then. No, of course it's not over. They're still trying to extort more money out of the other guy. So eventually they get about $400, and I'm tweaking because I'm like, I need to be up in the morning. Like, where am I? Who am I? Like, I just felt, I've never felt powerless like that in my life. So I say all that to say, if you're going to Accra for Dirty December or going at all, make sure you don't I guess, look rich. I didn't even have on any designer. I had on a cheap outfit. It doesn't matter. Don't talk back to the police because they will straight up take you. Thankfully, I'm not physically.
Emma video no beto abonti. Video no beto abonti no. Amam for tag Ghana police we di omonye no mo hwehwe asem no because kame akoye say omo we gu Ghana police ho fi. Ampa Ghana police for eso asem no mu. Omo investigation. Omo di kan eko baby a lady no lodge hotel no. Omo koye no yesi wa check it out. Enti omo say fast eko Kotoka International Airport e bia ko hu no. Omo du honom so na chese girl no wa fly ama chese omo contacting through social media. Omo contacting no so no. Lady no say enya ade obeba Ghana ha say na afi compose no wa delete videos ni na on social media page am say so mu hia ne say bia omba investigation company enya ade o ye ready because asem no asi ewie na we na chese Ghana police for omo chemu say omo guso a chese omo hwe say bia omo be con in a diplomatic way oti ase ti say bia Ghana embassy na afi nso US embassy say na be ya omo benya details about ni CN because kame akwese asem we so man timi anka ni yi a na chese lady no wa tarnish the image of Ghana police service any Ghana hanyina enti we any say ma chese Ghana police phone so e dey beto abonte omo twemu say so far so good omo gu so omo ye nhwehwe mu a chese omo hwese bia omo benya lady no na chese omo ne omo akasa na bibia etimi akoye e we so betimi leave comment e comment section ase aha e authentic plus studios make sure so be like you be subscribe you know wa share ama fufu bi ahwe